So yesterday I was talking about how we are conditioned to tolerate a lot of illness and lack of medical care because our illnesses either didn't matter to our narc parents, or they were diminished, or, my mother grew up in the Great Depression, so she did without a lot of things, new clothes, shoes, healthcare, whatever, food. And so anytime I had needs, she would have to be in the mood to fill them, or it would bring her some sort of narcissistic supply or attention, or, she's always bought me things so that she could tell people, oh, look what I bought for my daughter, kind of thing. And the same thing with healthcare. She would take credit for bringing me to the doctor or not. I would just be told, get over it, or you're being, or she had to tolerate the pain and suffering, so I should. So yesterday I was talking about how tired I've been. I don't know, pretty much since the 70s, but I've been really dragging for the past few years, and I wasn't sure if it was thyroid, I wasn't sure what it was, but mostly I believed it was a moral failing. Mostly I believed I was just being lazy and feeling sorry for myself. See, it's that conditioning. But it was a lady friend's mother who took a look at me and said, you don't look good. And being cold and tired is not usually a menopausal symptom. It sounds like thyroid. Get your thyroid checked. Well, through a series of actually getting care for myself, I discovered I had severe anemia. Today I got the results of the hemoglobin, and my hemoglobin is at 5.1. And I'm smiling because it's like an achievement whenever I suffer. 5.1, and it should be between 11 and 13. So I'm functioning with less than half the red blood cells I need to live life. It takes me until I'm half dead or at death's door before I will go get help for myself. Because of the conditioning, the programming from childhood. You don't deserve it. You're exaggerating. Toughen up. I did without, so you should too. Now, I'm not on no contact. I'm on medium contact with my mother. I used to have weekly outings with her. I don't any longer. But I do see her often enough. She lives right up the hill. My dad, too. He's still alive. He has dementia. God bless him. That is his way of checking out from her constant criticism and abuse. And the one way she was always good at showing me affection and care is with money. That's what she can do. She can buy me stuff. She can lend me money. It's also a control tactic, but at least she knows that that's what she has to do if she wants to see me. She'll have to buy me something. Yeah, it's just so funny. I gotta laugh. So I got the results today. So 5.1, and the doctor says, please come in tomorrow. We immediately have to set up a blood infusion. I need blood. Somebody's got to donate blood to put me back, on track. And I need money. So I went to Mama, and she's all too happy to oblige. She gives me the credit card. But then I had the nerve, or should I say I made the mistake of wanting actual attention and sympathy. No. How do I not know this by now? I'm 51, she's 92, she ain't giving me the time of day. Oh my God. And I have to laugh in the middle of it. I'm like looking off to the imaginary audience. I'm trying to talk about how I feel about this, going in for blood. Not sure how much it's going to cost. I hope it makes me feel... It just didn't matter. It didn't matter. She just started talking about herself. And absolute stupid shit. What's going on with neighbors and hairdressers and landscaping and just anything but me. I'm like, oh, Lisa, you haven't learned. I should record it. Other people have posted phone calls and encounters with their narcissistic parent. Just couldn't keep her attention on me. And talking about the credit card and you know, how good she is at managing the finances. But as far as, you know, validating me in any way or giving me any kind of sympathy or I hope this is going to work for you and feel no encouragement whatsoever. It was all about her. Oh, it's so textbook. It's so predictable. But knowing it and seeing it, okay, it's a first step. It's definitely a first step. You have to name what you lived through. You have to talk about it. You have to come out about it. And it's going to piss people off. Mostly people who have also suffered, or maybe they're narcissists themselves, and they don't want to be exposed. And, you know, not everybody's going to support your coming out and talking about this. So you have to pick and choose your audience. I'm on YouTube. I called my mother a YouTube sensation. She doesn't know what I'm talking about. If you talk to people and they are saying, oh, but she's your mother, or they make excuses, or you shouldn't air your dirty laundry, or, well, that's over now, just get over. Don't talk to these people anymore. Don't talk to them anymore. They're done. You talk to people who sympathize, empathize, and who want to build you up and who want to see you get well and who acknowledge, yes, you suffered. That was wrong. She should not have done that. He, you know, whoever abused you or whatever narc trampled on you. You know, it's funny, when they talk about narcissists in relationships, they talk about the idealization phase. This has happened to me more than once, where you are just the be-all and end-all up on the pedestal. And then the minute, they know they have you hooked, well, you know, the Groucho Marx syndrome, where they wouldn't want to be part of a club that would let them in, kind of thing. This is what Sam Vaknin says. And, you know, the devaluation starts to begin. Because now they look down on you. Well, how could my false persona have you know, fooled you so easily? Anyway, so the relationship narcissism has this idealization, then devaluation, then discard phases. It's interesting how with narcissistic mothers, narcissistic parents, it's similar, right? So when I was first born, I was just an extension of her. And that's what babies are anyway. We can't even tell that this is our hand yet. You know, it takes us time to realize that we're separate human beings. And I think when I did realize I was a different separate human being, and I dared disagree with her or show affection toward my father, or, you know, anything to displease her, I guess that's when the devaluation started happening, right? I think there's a similar dynamic. I'm up on the pedestal at first. Oh, you were such a good baby, you never cried. That's a lie. Babies cry. If babies are afraid to cry, that's a red flag right there. Shari Schreiber talks about that. And the devaluations, I remember that between ages, let's say 5 and 8, you start to realize, wow, their behavior isn't quite right. Other households aren't like this. Then they feel betrayed because now you're standing up for your own wants and needs and noticing that they are monsters. And then the discard. That would have happened in my teens. I mean, I was always, neglected and abused in a certain way, but it was just blatant once I turned 13, 14. I was beautiful. She was jealous. So how do we overcome this? It's programming. All this program. You have to reprogram yourself. And that's tough because that requires daily, day-to-day catching yourself, beating yourself up, thinking negative thoughts about yourself, not good enough thoughts, beating myself up. Oh, I must be tired. I must be lazy. I'm just lazy. I'm just feeling sorry for myself. No, Lisa, you had less than half the amount of red blood cells you need to live. Amazing. So, long story short, I'm getting care. I should get the blood infusion tomorrow or Friday. And hopefully I'll feel better. And maybe I'll learn not to wait till I'm at death's door before I go to get help. If I can overcome that kind of programming. If I can convince myself, all the affirmations in the world. I'm good enough, smart enough, I'm worthy. If you don't believe it and you're telling yourself that, the other part of your brain is saying, liar, liar, pants on fire. But if I can do the hard work of actually acting, caring for myself, treating myself like I do matter, like I am worthy, then, I can believe it. And maybe the last third of my life could be happy. Maybe some happy. Anyway, I'm retitling my book. Right now it's called Losing 140 Pounds the Hard Way. I'm re-releasing it soon with the new title of The Truth About Weight Loss Surgery, What They Won't Tell You and How I Survived. So if you want the original copy of the book, Losing 140 Pounds the Hard Way, with pictures of me, go on Amazon. Just look up my last name, Sargese, Sargese, and you'll see it. Lots of stories about Narc Mom in there, boy. You can't talk about eating disorders without talking about that.